Professor Zhou, let me start with you first. So on one side, we have the Philippines saying that this basically violates international law in terms of aviation safety. The Chinese side said that their actions were professional and legal. So how do we square this difference?
First of all, I don't think it's very useful to resort to so-called legal ground because of two reasons. First of all, there is no binding legal norm to govern the encounter in the air between different countries' air force flights. For example, in 2018, ASEAN countries and China, United States, as well as some other countries signed a code on unexpected encounter in the air, but that is non-binding.
If we accept that there is a code, though, which helps to, maintain safety in the air, do you think that the Philippines did have, were within their rights to basically make a diplomatic complaint about this?
Well, of course. No matter whether it is legal or not, it is dangerous. And so it is very important for Philippines or any country that face that kind of action to file their protest and to let the PLA know that this is dangerous.
Professor Fu, you wanted to add to that?
So I would like to add that actually it represents like a fundamental disagreement in terms of whether to resort to international law or to historical rights. For the Philippine side, basically they stand on the bedrock of UN clause and the EEZ rights. Based on that, perhaps
you're talking about the issue of sovereignty, whereas we're still dealing with the issue of safety.
Yeah, but so the reason why I'm bringing that up is because actually I see two sides making the argument based on different grounds.
So Professor Zhou, what we're saying that the Chinese side is that they're saying that the Philippines shouldn't have been there in the first place. Is that the point that you think that China is making?
Obviously, you can see that point in Chinese official media or government statements. However, I think what's really important for us is to know what's the motivation behind that behavior. I would like to say that the People's Republic of China is intended to let the world know that it has the resolve to confront international efforts in this area, which is aimed at China's claim over sovereignty in this area. So I think, in a way, China wants to make it big. So as we know that incident happened when the four countries, including United States, Australia, Canada, and the Philippines, conduct a joint exercise in that region. And also China launched its so-called joint combat patrol in the same area. So China wants the world to know that it has this resolve to confront them.
So you believe that it's retaliation for the drills in Manila's EEZ?
Yeah, that's right. So it has both internal and international utility. Internally, it wants to show its people that China can control the situation. China is strong outside. But internationally, I think it wants to show to Philippines and other countries that that military exercise will be confronted by similar effort by China.
Okay, so Ronan, my question then is that the message that the international audience is getting, that China is in control, or is it actually getting, the message that China is being reckless, China is incredibly dangerous, China is essentially overstepping the line, because even if they do claim this territory, surely there should still be norms of safety between two actors. Yeah,
so to make it short, I think China's response is going to get backfired. It's going to basically aggravate, the entire situation.
Let's talk a little bit about the detail of Professor Zhou, of this incident? Why is it that the Philippines, had a very strong reaction, and Marcos himself spoke about this. He doesn't go into every incident, but he did this time. Can you talk to us about, why is it dangerous to drop flares from one aircraft to another, very close? Why is that dangerous?
Of course, first of all, it can doing that could block the other flights in its way forward. Secondly, if that object was attached, if that object was attached to the other flight, that could lead to a burning.
Right.
So both possibilities are very dangerous.
Right.
Yeah, and I think for President Marcos, it is very important for him to make big on this incident. First of all, because it is dangerous, and all other countries make similar voice when they face similar situation. And secondly, because President Marcos just made an agreement with the PRC government in another show with regard to how to resupply their Navy ship. So
on Second Thomas Show.
Yeah, Second Thomas Show. So that is very important for President Marcos to show that he is not going to concede, so that the legitimacy of the previous agreement can be still supported by the Filipino public.
Right, Ronan, I'll let you. Let me just ask the question I was going to ask. So, in terms of what Professor just said, in fact, the Philippines has come out and said that they could review that agreement at any time. So I wanted to get your take on, does this indicate that the Philippines might have leverage over China if they're saying that can be reviewed? And then you also wanted to jump in on what, Professor?
Yeah, so I just want to say that basically we can see the escalation, from sea to sky. And the reason why you kept asking why was it so dangerous, and it was because basically it could create a power cake for potential conflict, right? So basically, when you are in you're a pilot, basically it's a split-second decision, and the escalation, the stakes are higher in terms of when the confrontation between Marines, and they have more maneuver times to consider what's going to be the next step going to be.
They're basically just going slower. Yeah, the vessels move slower on the sea rather than in the air. Yeah,
so that also increase the risk of miscalculation, and most importantly, the unintended consequences in terms of the the incident in air is huge. The stakes are very, very high, right? So in terms of the Filipino decision to also reach out to China was, I think, on the one hand, they want to make sure that they make very clear that once you do something dangerous, we are going to respond. Right? So no way for us basically just to wait and see. We are going to respond.
So they responded by the diplomatic complaint, and how else can they respond?
I think they are going to reach out to perhaps the United States, and you can see that in the coming months. Maybe some joint military operations will be conducted. As a way to send a very signal to China.